Good morning, good morning. We have missed the GDP numbers. The market's going to tank, right? Forgot to do my hair this morning. Look like a hot mess. All right. So I see that we've missed GDP numbers. Now, the market's supposed to tank, right? I don't think so. I think all that means, and in conjunction with what happened yesterday at the Fed meeting, basically what that means is they're going to stay in markets longer and longer, and they're just going to keep pumping it. So I think what people are seeing in these markets are, hey, help's not leaving anytime soon. So why would we get rid of the market? So this is going to be my first time reading this story with you guys. Let's see what it says. U.S. economy expanded 6.5% annualized in Q2, missing expectations. So what were the expectations? Second quarter GDP, seasonally annualized quarter over quarter, came in at 6.5% versus the 8.4% expected. And it was 6.4% in Q1. So it's actually lower than Q1. Personal consumption came in at 11.8% versus 10.5%. There's a shocker. Let's see. What else do we have in this story? Anything else? Dun, 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 dun. Fiscal stimulus is okay. So, hey, I the way I see it is we're just gonna keep getting money in there. So I do not think that there is any need to panic. Anyways, let's see what the market is doing. Let's see if there's any reaction. No, markets are up. So fun times. Let's get into some stories. We did the GDP. Now I want to go into the taper. So obviously you guys know that there was a meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday. Jerome Powell spoke yesterday at 2:30. And it was interesting. He came out and he was talking about the bond markets. And I pulled up the story about the bonds, and honestly, there's really just like, where is the bonds thing? He basically said, in terms of what's been happening in the bond market, I don't think there's a real consensus on what happens, the moves between the first and last Fed meeting. So basically, he's saying he doesn't know what's happening in the bond market. And all the comments that I was reading from this story, people don't know people like don't understand why the bond market is where it is. And I'm like, it's probably because we have unprecedented printing and stimulus. So nobody's ever seen it before. Nobody knows what to do. We've seen long-term yields go down significantly, Powell said. Some of it is fall in real yields, which may be connected. To some speculate the sentiment around the spread of the Delta variant grows. Okay, so our bonds, what's our 10-year treasury rate at? do. I'm curious to see where that closed last night. Hey, is David Spicer in here? If you are, tell me where you see the real-time bonds or real-time treasury yield. So the 10-year is staying pretty damn low. These are really getting to unprecedented levels. And going forward, let's talk about the taper. Let's talk about the what they're going to do with interest rates. The central bank on Wednesday announced that it would hold rates steady at near zero. Shocker. The FOMC took a step towards slowing its $120 billion a month pace of quantitative easing of U.S. Treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, hinting that the time to taper those is coming in coming meetings. It is not timely for us to begin thinking about raising the interest rates right now, because who doesn't need to have zero interest rates forever? Listen to the thinking that they have going forward. What we're doing is we're looking at our asset purchases and judging what is right for the economy. The Fed test for when to taper is when there is further substantial progress made when it comes to unemployment and stable prices. So I don't know what they mean by stable prices. I hope they're not talking about the stock market. The unemployment thing, we still have 6.8 million jobs short of where we were pre-pandemic. Now, they're going to wait until we get back to basically, I mean, the unemployment rate pre-pandemic was it was like almost historically low. If that's what we're going to wait to get to with job creation, we're never going to taper, and we're never going to raise the interest rates. I will say, Powell said, I will say we are making progress. We expect further progress, and we expect that if all things go well, then we will reach that goal. And when we reach it, the committee will become comfortable that it will have reached it, and that's when we will begin to taper. I don't see that happening, and I don't see a taper coming anytime soon, if that's the real stuff they're doing. And when it comes down to whether they're going to taper mortgage-backed securities or treasuries, they think they're going to taper them at the same time. Some people don't want to taper the mortgage-backed securities because they think it's going to crash the housing market. Powell said it's not going to crash the housing market because he doesn't think that the mortgage-backed security purchases have a very big influence on the housing market. So everybody is in great consensus here, and we're just in great shape. The big symposium is in Jackson Hole, August 26th to 28th. I personally don't think that we're going to see anything out of that. This is just a cluster, you know what. Gold extends gains to the third day on Powell's dovish remarks. So they're not moving rates, so gold's going to keep moving. Gold gained for the third straight session on Thursday after the Fed president struck a dovish tone on indicating that much remains before any policy tightening will happen. So if you're in gold, who knows? I think that gold, like I've said a million times, I think gold's going to be a very good long-term play. And by long-term, I mean 3 to 5 years. I don't mean 6 months or 6 days on a 5-minute chart. The Federal Reserve has talked down the risks of a rate hike tapering a little bit, and that gives gold prospects to drift higher in the short term, of course. But hey, if you're not comfortable in gold, I know there's a lot of people that are in gold in the Bid and Ask Nation. They keep asking me, what do I do with gold? What do I do with gold? Guys, if you're up in gold and you're panicking about it and you can't sleep at night, just go ahead and get rid of your gold. I don't think you should drive yourself crazy by holding gold and wondering what's going to happen. But I do think that in the long run, you're going to be very happy with where you are. And I've talked about this a million times with gold. Gold is global. It's not just the United States thing. Everybody uses gold. This is a very geopolitical commodity. So global demand for gold rose in its second quarter to its highest quarter level in a year as central banks and investors stepped up purchases. It's not just the United States. So, all right. Spicer just said that Nikola is down 10% on fraud. Is that true? I don't know. Tell me more. Okay, speaking of that, Tencent is the world's worst stock bet with $170 billion wiped out in the month of July. So the Chinese internet giant has tumbled 23% in July as of Wednesday. That's today. That's yesterday. Set for its worst month ever after erasing $170 billion of market value. That's the fastest evaporation of shareholder wealth worldwide during this period, shows Bloomberg data. 9 of the 10 9 of the top 10 losers in shareholder value this month are Chinese companies, including Meituan and Alibaba. So everybody knows Alibaba's getting smoked. We bought Alibaba at $185, $186. And what's it at? It's at $200 today. That was not my intention. I really thought it was going to drop a little bit more. We'll take a look at that chart just to see where things are going, because I saw it being able to. I'm having a hard time talking today. Able to go to $165 or $150. So let's take a look. Maybe this is just a wicked snapback. The sell-off in shares of Tencent intensified earlier this week after Beijing broadened its regulatory clampdown to include other once high-flying industries such as private education. I don't see the end to regulatory crackdown. Data security is a top priority to policymakers in the coming years. It's a new normal, Paul Pong, managing director at Pegasus Fund Managers, said. So, do you agree or disagree? I don't know. Okay. Everybody wants to talk about the hood. More like hold on for dear life. That should be the ticker symbol. HOLD. Ha. Oh, here we go again. Robinhood is expected to start trading public under the ticker HOOD Thursday at an initial price of $38, $31.8 billion valuation. So, I'd like to conduct a little experiment. Those of you who are in the Bid and Ask Nation who like day trading, who day trade on a regular basis, and who are good at it. I don't want you people that are in there just to go and play my little game that I'm about to say. I want you to understand how to trade. I don't want this to be your first trade ever. I want you guys to go in there, and I want everybody to tell me the dollar amount that they make day trading this thing at the end of the day. And then we can see how much we made versus how much everybody else complains when this thing gets tanked eventually. So, please do that. Gianni, lead the charge. All right, so everybody knows Robinhood. They're doing their thing, whatever. They had around 17.7 million users at the end of March. Since then, they've continued to grow, 22.5 million users, making it a major player in the little sector. So, I don't know. If it was me, guys, I still would not be in this crap. I don't mean as a trade. I mean as a brokerage house. Go to a real brokerage house. What is this? This is nonsense. These people, this Vlad guy who runs this thing, these people are scumbags. Pure scumbags. All right. Kathy Wood, ARK Innovation. What's my allocation in Baba? 10%? No. Not 10%. I think in the end it's going to be I don't know, 2 or 3% of my total quote unquote assets under management. Kathy Wood, ARK Innovation, has sold nearly all of its Chinese stocks. She sold, well, I don't know if she sold it, whomever at her firm. They sold it as the industry was getting cracked down from all of this regulatory stuff that they're dealing with. So she got rid of, let's see, KE Holdings, Alibaba, DD, and there's so many more in here. TALED. I remember going through these things. She got rid of her Tencent. That thing got smoked. So let's see. Wood's flight from Chinese stocks has helped her funds avoid what could have been much larger damage. MCHI plunged 13% from last Thursday's close. I mean, these people are just really something. It's the best. It's just the best. All right, let's move on to something else. Let's see. We already checked the yields. Everything. This thing's actually stable as can be in July. That's good. The 10-year is dropping though. What do we got for earnings? Amazon reports after the bell today. Nokia already reported. Gilead Science today. Let's see anything else. U.S. Steel after the bell. MasterCard reported this morning. What happened there? Somebody tell me. Altria Group reported before the bell. Let's see what we got tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm assuming is going to be rather light. Exxon. Oh, so two of our employed trader stocks, AbbVie and Caterpillar, report tomorrow. So that'll be interesting. Maybe we can actually catch a good trend. I'm hoping. So yesterday, Cash sent this to me. I didn't look into it. Did the Senate pass the bill, the infrastructure bill? Somebody just say yes or no. I can't remember if it passed or if it was going to the Senate to pass. But either way, if it did pass, if it did in fact pass the Senate, the president's absolutely going to sign it. And it's going to become a big bill. And I think companies like Caterpillar are going to start to make the move. So hopefully, if that happened, then we can get something going on there. So if you guys do want to join the Bid and Ask Nation, if you want to get the software or anything like that, you can jump into the Discord. It's $7. If you want to get the software, come on in, and $25 a month. What's today's date? It did. Okay, so it passed the Senate. So you got an infrastructure bill coming. Caterpillar is going to make a move for sure. Today's the 29th, so on Sunday, this price is going up. This price is going up to 26, and this price right here is going up to 76. So the Bid and Ask Nation will be $76 a month starting on Sunday. If you want to do a one-on-one trading session with me, $500 gets you that. I did one yesterday for a guy named Ryan in the chat, and he benefited. I mean, we fixed his issues. He was in day trades, and he kept losing. His whole thing was he was entering way too early or way too late, and we addressed that problem, and boom. I think he's going to be a better day trader now. So that was worth it in my opinion, especially with the amount of money he was trading with. And if you want to do a real estate consult with Paul, $10,000 for 4 hours of his time will get you that. All right, give me some stocks and we'll go over them. I want to look at Baba, and then I want to look at LKQ, which was sent in by somebody. I can't remember who. It did not pass. So who did it pass, or nothing passed? Thank you. Okay, the Senate bill did not pass. Why did everybody say yes then? The Senate bill did not pass. So we're not going to get any movement on Caterpillar, in my opinion, until we get that passage of that bill. So people are saying that Joe Manchin's holding it up again. Joe Manchin holds up everything. All right. Let's see. LKQ Corp. What do we got here? All right. So you are getting, you're breaking towards what I'm assuming are all-time highs. Let's see here. Let's zoom in. Okay, so you're sitting right above your 50 and 100-day moving average. So this is absolutely a short because you are on a quick downtrend. You have increasing selling volume. You have these red volume bars that are selling. So if you can break today and make an engulfing candlestick under these two moving averages, the 50 and the 100, the 50 and the 25, you can have a great short down to the 100-day moving average. And I think that you should not hesitate to do that if you get a good engulfing candlestick. This is a good looking trade. Whoever asked this question, good question. Thanks for the donation. Let's see here. What are we going to do next? Baba. That's what I wanted to do. Baba. All right. Oh, interesting. All right. Well, that's the end of that. Alibaba's not going to go down anymore, I don't think. So basically what I said was, let's zoom out and I'll show you what I was talking about. Let's go out to the full chart. So basically what I said was, if this thing breaks down any further than right here into this area, it could go to 165 or it could go to 150. And that was when our trend was really trending down. It's finally turned up. So you see how I have a green candlestick here on my charts. When something moves into the sweet spot, it turns into a green candlestick, and we got that yesterday, and we got another jump today. So for now, Alibaba is not going down anymore. The only confidence that I got is that there's a little bit less volume. There's about 40% less volume than the day before. So maybe things will turn, but I don't think so. So what I think is Alibaba's going to keep going up now. And I think we're up 2.5% pre-market. So that's sweet. I wanted it to go down more because I wanted to purchase more. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? JP Morgan. I think I did this one yesterday and nothing was happening. Yeah, I wouldn't trade this right now. It's a bank. You got to let things settle down. GPK. Graphic packing. Let's see. Okay. What do we got here? I assume that this big day that it had was earnings. Yeah, if you so this was yesterday. If today you get an engulfing candlestick like such, I think you'll be good to go on that one, because I like that it's coming through the sweet spot. Now, I would really like this yellow line to also get into the sweet spot. So hopefully the red one comes here, the yellow one gets here. That's what I would like to happen. But if you do get an engulfing candlestick today, I do think that will more likely than not happen. All right, GE. Haven't done that one in a long time. Let's see. So with GE, yeah, you gotta let this move into the sweet spot. You're trending in the right direction, but here's your hurdle: 100-day moving average and 50-day moving average sitting right on top of each other. You need a lot of volume coming in, and this is selling volume. So there's a lot of people that are just they made this little run up, whatever that is, and they're gonna be taking their profits because they know they're running into the 100-day moving average. So, all right. La 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 la. CCL. I'll do CCL. What else do we have here? Matt C. If you type DUOL one more time, I am going to ban you. CCL. All right. CCL. Let's see. Moving. Okay, so the trend is in the right direction for sure. Problem is you have decelerating volume, and that's not surprising because you're moving right into the 200-day moving average, and you just can't break above it. You're going to need a lot of volume to get this thing going. So, yeah, just be patient with this one. Whoever asked this question, just be patient with it. Eventually, you'll get engulfing candlesticks moving up, but you got to break through the 200-day moving average. You got to break through the 200-day moving average, and the only thing that's going to get that going is the only thing to get that going is volume. Logitech. So Logitech, I remember Cash and Nick were trading this one, and I think a lot of people in the Bid and Ask Nation were trading this one. So good news is you're over your 200. Bad news is you're under your 100. So this is actually looking like a pretty decent swing trade. If you can get some good buying volume coming in, you could probably run this thing up to about $116 a share or something like that. But the good thing is you got this whole gap to fill. So maybe this red line will turn up like such, and you can go ahead and fill this gap sometime in the immediate future. But you just got to be patient on this one. All right. VRSN. VeriSign. Is this like a sign business or a document solutions business? Okay, so I zoomed out because I wanted to see where the support level was. And obviously it's sitting at the 100-day, but it's funny. If you just draw a line right here, you can kind of see that there's a strong support level there. So even though this is below its support level, it's being pulled up. It's being pulled up by pressure. There is buying still in there, and it's pulling it up. So I don't really see it dropping below its 100-day moving average unless you get crazy selling volume to take it down to the 200. But with this one, if you want to short it, I don't think I would suggest shorting it, just because you're not gonna be able to bounce through this 100 unless you get tons of volume. So if you want to keep an eye on it, more power to you. But let's see, guys, smash the like button for me. That would be wonderful. All right, y'all want to do Caterpillar, even though I don't like doing employed trader stocks, but I'll do them. I'll do one. All right. This thing is just coasting sideways. Excuse me. This is essentially a dog stock. Excuse me. The good thing that you have coming in on Caterpillar is look at this volume that you have. It's starting to increase on you. So that means that buyers are coming into the stock. Not surprising, because it's bouncing off its 200-day. Hedge funds they're starting to buy at their 200-day. Quant funds are also starting to buy at their 200-day. So eventually, I think this thing will get turned up. And I'm telling you, if you get an infrastructure bill, I guarantee this thing gaps up here, or gaps up here. Actually, probably gaps over its 100-day moving average. I think this is actually where it would gap to. So I don't know how involved Caterpillar is in this, but I can also see nobody knows with Nobody knows what's going to happen with the infrastructure if they haven't read the bill, so they'll just assume that it's going to be Caterpillar. All right, let's see. Intel, we can do Intel. COVID, yeah. I probably have COVID. It's not that I talk 4,000 hours a day. Intel is actually surprising me. With everything that came out, I thought for sure that this thing would get up here in this area with all of that news, especially them saying that they're going to make the chips for Qualcomm and that they're going to make the chips for Amazon. I just thought that news would get that thing going, but apparently it didn't. So there's volume coming in. It's just it hasn't gotten there yet. So you got to let this thing turn up. I would not short this thing right now and go from there. Okay, next. GPS. Is this Garmin? Oh, Gap. All right. If I was you, you're not going to get much out. You're not going to get much more than dropping to $27 if you try to go short on it, because A, that's support, and B, that's your 200-day moving average. So you also have volume just completely falling off on you. So I would wait for this thing to turn up and get moving in the right direction and go long on it. All right, Bud. Man, I haven't looked at Bud in a very long time. Didn't they just crush earnings or something like that? No, that was Tap. These guys had something wrong. It was Tap that did very well. All right. So this thing's going to even move more into a downtrend. Let's see. Let's zoom out a little bit, just see what we got going on. So I can see this thing. If the trend continues, don't react to it today. Don't let this initial crazy reaction cloud your judgment. Let everything settle down. It gap below its 200-day moving average. It's very possible that this thing pulls back up here and just sits right at 67.50 by the end of the day. So let that happen. But if it stays around 65.50 and then tomorrow you get an engulfing candlestick, you can probably short this thing below $60 at some point. I just don't see you going much lower than 57.58. That's still a big drop though. So you definitely have some room to run. But yeah. All right. Viacom. So there was a story that I pulled. Actually, it's right here. Credit Suisse failed to act on the Archegos risks. And this is a very long story, and I started highlighting it, but it's actually a very interesting sequence of events. So I didn't really have time to organize it and go through it. So I want to go through it today and go through the sequence of events. It's very interesting how that all went down. And I say that because Viacom is one of the ones that was involved in it, and unfortunately got smoked right here because there was that $35 billion margin call. But there were people that knew about it. I mean, Credit Suisse knew about it, and people at Archegos were even saying, like, there are issues here. We're going to be in trouble. And they started talking about this in 2017 where there were issues. So crazy sequence of events. If you have the Wall Street Journal, go find the story. You'll love reading it. It was a very interesting read. But I just want to organize it a little bit more before I start talking about it to you. But all right, let's see. Viacom. Yeah, Viacom. So Viacom's really just doing nothing. It's just consolidating right here in this area, doing basically nothing. So I don't know what to tell you here. To me, this is a boring stock to trade at this point, and I think that you should be looking at it from a value perspective, if anything, because I just think unless something happens where they start getting tons of volume, and I mean consistently volume bars up here, around 20 million shares traded per day, I do not think this thing is going to be able to move very far because it's stuck below all of its major moving averages. I also don't think it's going to go down very much. I think it's just going to keep staying in this range-bound area. And yeah, somebody just wrote the Richer, Wiser, Happier book is fantastic. It's phenomenal. That book is just phenomenal. That Manesh Pabrai, he is really something. He is awesome. he's like, that guy is the definition of he doesn't give an F what you think about him. It's incredible. He's a very good trader. There was a point in the book I read, he was down like, I think it was 67% or 63%. And his wife at the time, he was like, my wife couldn't even tell that I had no emotion. It was just like, it is what it is. And he's just a great trader, or a great investor. But Qualcomm. Somebody wanted to do Qualcomm. I remember they said this the other day and I didn't hit it. Yeah, good find. So let's go here. So I'm assuming Qualcomm reported earnings or something because they gapped up here this morning. So if you want to go short on this, yeah, Pabrai wrote a book. I have that book. I'm going to read it next. You don't go short on this thing. You need engulfing candlesticks moving down, and obviously this thing is gapped up. This thing could very well turn its trend and just keep going sideways over 80%. So with Qualcomm, do not go short on this. So whoever said that, do not go short on this. All right, guys, smash the like button for me real quick. What do I think of Uber? I think I looked at Uber the other day and thought it was awful. Well, you could certainly short it. That's for sure. They're down 4.4%. Now, with that being said, yeah, this is you got to let it break through. So it's at 44.10 right now. Let it break through. Let it get down into this 43.50 area before you start shorting it. And if that happens, you're going to fill this gap around $35. If you're in the Bid and Ask Nation, please throw this in the shorting channel and tag me. I like this one. If it breaks down and finishes the day around 43.50. If it doesn't do that, then I don't know. Okay, is the market open? Market's open right now. And I will do one more stock. Somebody give me a good one. I don't know. DraftKings, nah. Dun, dun, dun. Smash the like button, please. United, we looked at yesterday. DPZ, I'll do it. DPZ, you got it. Is this Domino's Pizza? Yep. Ooh, what we got here? Okay, so this has been a heck of a run. If you make a new all-time high, I like it. You can get going on this thing. If you make a new all-time high on a daily chart, you can go with this thing and make a great swing trade out of this. The only problem is, look at this volume fall off. I assume that this was earnings, and they had a good earnings. And yeah, I assume that that's earnings. But be careful. You're starting to roll over here. The party might be over. So if you had Domino's and you caught this incredible run up, take your profits up here. Take some profits, put them in your pocket, and see what happens from there. Yeah, that's that. All right, I'll do one more because I got an influx of stocks. Somebody keeps asking for Shell. Is it S? What is it? I know it's something.A. RDS? RDS? Is it? RDA.S? RDS.A. There we go. Let's see what Shell is. Ooh. Shell is, so Shell's just range bound. Stuck between these three moving averages. Okay, no, it's not. It's up 5% today. I assume that this trend is going to turn and it's going to start moving up. Now you got to be careful. These gaps like to fill. That's the problem. So see where this thing finishes today. I could see this thing being up 5% and coming back down here and closing around $40. So just be very careful with that one. And you'll be all right. But Shell might be a good one to day trade today, guys. Keep a watch on that too. All right, I'm out of here. The live show for top tier patrons only at 2 o'clock today. And otherwise, I will be back tomorrow to see you. Have a great day. Bye.